Yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, we back. It's the second hour. Hey, gonna be just as powerful as the first. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep the show strong and keep it moving. Hey, I encourage everybody, please check out Mr. Monty Sanders and what he's doing at Optimum Fitness. Man, these people are really doing it big. And like I said, they're giving back to the public. They taking care of their village on their end of the world like I am. So I got to support these freedom fighters. You know what I'm saying? We out here fighting to make sure y'all all right and make sure everything's going good. Miss Peaches.
Hey, Cogee.
So what'd you think about that last hour?
Wow, I thought we were on for 15 minutes.
Man, hey, that was an hour. And when I say it was rolling, it was rolling.
One thing I wanted to say, Cogee, that I love about your show, I mean, you have so much love to give and so much respect. You always leave an open platform for people who are doing something great to receive the accolades and the thank yous. And I don't think that happens a lot for a lot of people. Even though they are doing big things, I don't think people really get the opportunity to say thank you in such an awesome forum. And I think that's so cool that you allow that and do that. That's just really great.
Oh, yeah. You know, hey, I look at it like this. People that know me personally know. Sometimes I might get on your nerves. Sometimes I might make you feel like, man, he don't understand. But it's because I care. When I say stuff and I alert you on things that could happen, you should do it like this or you should do it like that. That's only because I care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't say nothing at all and I'll go on about my life. But see, God didn't put me here on earth to ignore things that's happening to innocent people. You get what I'm saying?
That's very true.
I see a lot of things happen to innocent people that they don't understand why it's happening, but I see that people use them and people try to hurt them. And that's what I don't want. But sometimes, see, I can't jump in everybody's fight. But when you come to me and you ask me for advice, I can make sure that I give it to you and I tell you I got you 100%. I'm never going to give it to you and then I'm going to go jump in the bushes. I get out of your shadow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, that's true. And anybody around you or anybody who's ever been around you can say that you will stand by what you say 100%. And you will help somebody through a problem as long as they have an open ear to hear what you have to say. You definitely are there for them.
Right. And hey, believe me, I probably don't, lost many of people because of this situation. But, hey, that's okay. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
God bless them. And, hey, that blessing is still on them for me. It don't change. Like I said, I just care. You know what I'm saying? Hey, sue me because you made me like you. You know what I'm saying? If you make me like you as a friend, a brother, sister, or whatever. And my man Smooth is here. Smooth, speak on that about me, honestly.
Yeah, you come with what you say. You know, me and you, we never had a problem because we communicate with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I'm never going to step on nobody's toes. I'm going to walk around the situation. But if you ask me, I'm going to give you my opinion. My opinion don't mean I'm right. It just means that I care. And you must care to ask me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And like I said, I asked Smooth. I asked Monty. I talked to him. Anybody that's on my staff, I talk to them as well. You know what I'm saying? It's all about us being a village and being there for each other. But one thing, I will never, ever retreat. If I tell you something and I say I got your back, you ain't got to worry about me retreating. You ain't got to worry about me, not being there with you. I ain't going to never lead you into a fight without standing with you. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we going to do. We get ready to take a break for a minute. And like I said, if today was your last day on earth, how would you change it? Who's the people that you would apologize to? What would you do different? You know what I'm saying? That's what we're trying to bring today with Second Chance Achievers. We just trying to uplift and trying to touch people. And like I said, God bless everybody out there. I don't got no hard feelings with nobody. I got much love for everybody. All right? So we'll be right back. And let's get ready for Mr. Todd Bridges. You know what I'm saying? And hey, we'll be back. Conversations with Cogee, baby. Yo, this is Cogee. I'm back. We're waiting on Mr. Todd Bridges. His people just called and said it'd be a few more minutes. But Miss Peaches, you said you wanted to chime in on something before we went out to the break.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I just touched on earlier just saying that I think it's really big of you and great that you do give people the opportunity to call in and say good things, because I even know in my own experience I've tried to get through and to say something nice to somebody who was on and I wasn't able to. So I just think that's really cool that you do that, you know what I'm saying? And
right.
One thing about what you were talking about earlier, how you said you might get on people's nerves or this, that, and the other. In the Bible, and I think you can back me up on this, and they say that God protects children and fools.
Right,
and you
yeah.
say that in it, and it bothers you when you see innocent people because they just don't know. Well, you're like a tool from God, letting them know, this situation is not good for you.
Right. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that I wanted you to come in on that.
Okay, but when she said fools, she ain't talking about literally fools, everybody. So don't think she's talking about that. She's just saying people with blind sight on what somebody's trying to do to them. And, outside person that's outside the situation can kind of see what's going down. You know what I'm saying? That's what she meant by that. So it goes back to what I said. Like I said, I only care. I mean, that's why I do this show every week. You know what I'm saying? I do this show because I care. I come up with these topics because I want to help people. That's a person that cares. That ain't a person, I don't do it for ratings. I don't do it for this, that, and the other. Hey, like I said, I'm doing God's work. I don't want to, keep harping on that. But, I ain't got no problem flagging saying what I do, I'm doing for God and I'm doing for the right reasons. Nobody's going to take it away from me because it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I only want to help people. At the end of the day, I would like for somebody to come up and give me a hug and say, yo, that was really cool. What you said, you changed my life. We even had an ordeal. We're going to talk about this for a minute real quick before we, take a break and get ready for Todd to come in. We had somebody that get in touch with us and tell us, Cogee, you really touched my life because my friend had somebody messing with their child. And I thought about what you said and I put the person up on it. And the person came home and, caught this situation. With the child.
Right.
Now, you see what I'm saying? That made me feel good when the person told me that. Cogee, I thought about what you said and the different signs that you said kids go through, and boom, we saved a life. My whole team.
Right. Because there are some people, some naysayers that, say, oh, you shouldn't do this, Joe, your hands off your children. And why is that? Why should we not protect our kids? Because they're our innocent little people walking the planet, and they need a voice to say, look, if your child all of a sudden changes their behavior, and you have different experts on every one of our shows to break it down in a different way, people who've experienced things, that needs to be said. It needs to be talked about.
Right. And the
thing, help the next person.
Right. And, next week is our show, and I want everybody to chime in, once a month. Hey, we getting it in. We looking out for our village. So next week is the week. And like I said, let's get on this. Today is second-time achievers, you know what I'm saying? People that turned their life around and done it big. How important is it, Smooth, for this situation?
Well, I think everybody deserves a second chance. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you go through things to teach you what not to do the second time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to go through those things. And second chances, for me, I know, when I was younger, I was just trying to be out there and, got locked behind bars a couple of times. And it taught me and made me want my freedom. And it's been 20-some years.
There it is. Right.
So everybody deserves a second chance.
Yeah, man. Being behind bars is a choice. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely right about that.
Yeah.
And I commend you on that. You're a good brother, and you hold it down and, do your own thing. But, Ms. Peaches, how important is it today's show?
Oh, today's show just gives everybody, even in our daily lives, even on simple things, then you get shut down and you reach obstacles. You get the phone hung up on you or a door slammed in your face. Even on that low of a level, just taking this show makes you feel good. It's positive. We learned some things from your first guest, Monty Sanders. Like he said, live a preventative lifestyle. Don't wait until something goes wrong and then start to try to see if you can change it. Yeah. You guys were talking about every day starting back fresh and doing every day like it's your last, and that's so true.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, hey, like I said, it's the second hour of Conversations with Cogee. It's the Second Time Achievers, Part 2. And it's on fire, all right? So check us out. We're going to take a break. We're waiting for my man Todd Bridges to come in. What you talking about, Willis? You know what I'm saying? We'll be right back. And life ain't easy. That's why you got Conversations with Cogee. Ms. Peaches.
Hey, Cogee. We'd like to give a huge thank you to our sponsors.
Oh, yeah. Our sponsors really mean a lot, and I want to thank every one of them. I mean that for supporting, the show. And like I said, they bring in great things to the show. And they're making it happen. Right. And I definitely want to thank them for the whole situation. So what's the deal? We're going to see what's happening with Mr. Todd Bridges. You know what I'm saying? We're waiting to see what's happening. Right. So,
okay. I mean, he does have a deep story, so,
Yeah. His story is real deep. You know what I'm saying? So we want to hear from him, and see what's happening. So what'd you think about Diff'rent Strokes, Smooth, when you was growing up?
I love Diff'rent Strokes, man. I'm that age. Me and Todd was probably around the same age.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah. And I wanted to be on it. I was like, man, I wanted to be an actor when I was little, so I was like, oh, I want to be on that show.
Right.
And Todd, I've seen his story a few times. I've seen him on Oprah and different things. So I know his struggle, but I think he's been clean for almost 20 years.
Yeah, 17 years, something like that. Yeah, it's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, man, that man can bounce back. So you know what? I'm going to find out what's up right now because I want my show moving. Ain't nothing going to hold me up. So that's what we're going to do. We'll be right back, y'all. Conversations with Cogee. I got you, Village. Hold on for me. I got you. I'll be right back. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Cogee. Hey, welcome to Conversations with Cogee. Anybody that's just listening, hey, today's show is Second Time Achievers Part 2. Hey, we got my man on the line right now, Mr. Todd Bridges. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How you guys doing today?
Oh, man, we doing good, man. We doing good. Hey, my public was like, hey, you said Todd was going to be on. Where is he at? I said, this man ain't going to let you down. His word is his word, right or wrong?
That's all I got left.
Yo, you know that's right. Hey, man, I want to tell you, man, I'm very proud of you, man. You're doing great. You're doing your thing, and you turned your life around, man. You've done a 360, man. I'm very proud of you, man. For people, Todd, that can't do that right now, tell them what it took for you to spin it around, man, and do something positive.
Well, the thing is, you got to realize that you got to make a change in your life, and you got to realize that you got to basically grow up. You know what I mean? And when you grow up, man, you realize that your life has to be a lot different, and you can't continue down that same path of destruction.
Right.
And once you turn your life around, things start to change, man. You start to move forward. It doesn't happen right away, but it does happen. I mean, my whole life has changed now. I ended up this year booking an Adam Sandler movie that comes out June 12th of next year. I'm in an A-list movie. I mean, how many times does that happen to a guy in my situation?
But you know what, man? You deserve it. You know what? You deserve it. And I'm going to tell you why I deserve it. I read something, too, that you said every time something come up with some other stars or everybody else, you a poster boy, your picture come up. And, man, they need to let that die. They need to let you go on and change, man. You are who you are right now. You're doing great, man. Yesterday was yesterday. It's so many other stars that they can use as poster people other than pulling you up and pulling your picture up, man. I don't think that's cool. And I agree with you on that. I mean, you doing great things, man, and you outlasted a lot of people in Hollywood, man, that was going through drugs and this, that, and the other. Do you want to name a few of them, man?
Oh, I can name a lot of them that I've outlasted.
Right.
Most of them.
Right. Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is, man, you overcame that. And another thing that I was very proud of that you said, Hollywood didn't have me on drugs. Those were my choices to be on drugs. And you know what? That honest feeling, man, that you had. I mean, what are you saying to people when you say that?
Well, basically, what you're saying is you got to accept responsibility, and that's the problem. People want to, you want to share the responsibility on everybody else, but you got to accept responsibility, and I'm willing to accept my responsibility.
Right.
I made some bad choices, but the good part about it is I've turned those bad choices into nice, okay, and profitable. I got two wonderful kids, got a great wife, great family, great friends now. And I got a great career back, so it's a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah, man. You've been doing your thing. Definitely, man. But let me ask you something. In the peer pressure, what would you say to anybody out there right now? We'll say athletes, actors, singers, anything where they in a entourage around people that's doing the drugs and doing this, that, and the other. What would be your words of encouragement to them, to try to dodge that situation?
My situation is you got to grow up. That's what you got to do. You got to become a man and realize that you got choices in life. And it's better to stay with the good choices than the bad choices. I look at like my boy who I met before, and I really liked him. I like T.I., but he put himself right back in that situation.
Right.
And it's like the dude gets out of it, and I feel bad for him right now. And I'm hoping that when he gets out this time, he makes a change for his life because he's got to realize that he only got one life. And if you don't make a change, somebody else will make that change for you. Yeah,
you're definitely right. And they ain't got no problem with that court system making a change for you because, like I said, that's a payday for the court system.
Of course it is. And who wants to keep told by the court what they can and can't do?
Right.
I don't like that.
No.
I'm not. I'm 18 years sober. I ain't been on probation in 16 years. I got my own life. They can't tell me what to do no more.
And that's cool. Yeah.
And the thing is, only person that can tell me what to do is God himself.
Yeah, you're definitely right. But Todd, let me ask you a question. When you having your ups and your downs, you're going through something in your family life, in your career, if your career's slower for a minute, what keeps you strong and not turning back to drugs, alcohol, or nothing? We talking to the village. Everything I'm asking you is what I want you to help our village out with that's weak. Some people can't do that right now. Go on and lay it on them, brother.
Well, the thing what I turn to is I turn to activity, sports. I turn to working out. I turn to jogging. I turn to video games. I turn to something that's a healthy alternative sport, not eating too much, but just, taking care of myself. And I get into a lot of prayer and meditation, and that's what helps me change things.
Right, and that's cool. And let me go to this, man. You got a hot book out right now, man, Killing Willis. Killing Willis. I'm proud of you, man. You put that book out. But I want to ask you a question. Why did you name it Killing Willis?
Because at one point I was trying to kill myself. And to kill myself, I was trying to kill Willis. So it's an acronym. I had to become, complete with him and myself.
Right.
Because I am him, and he is me.
Oh, yeah, you're definitely right. And one of the chapters is Life After Willis. Let's talk about that a little bit.
That's a lot different, when you, after that, it takes time for people to realize that you are somebody different. But they try to pigeonhole you for a long time, and keep you in that situation. But people forgot how much work I did before that show. People forgot, that's maybe where they discovered me from, but I had done so much work before that it was incredible.
Yeah, you're definitely right on that, man. You've been putting in your work, man, and you have some of the greatest, co-stars. Janet Jackson, she was your girlfriend on Diff'rent Strokes?
Yep, she sure was.
Oh, man, hey.
And I heard that in her concert, she played the tape of me and her kissing, I guess, still.
There it is.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Somebody went to a concert and saw it and told me.
Oh, man, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
But you know what? Let me jump on this subject real quick, man. How sad is it about my man Gary Coleman, man?
That was real sad, man. That was something that was unexpected, something that we couldn't believe that it happened. And, there's some things you're going to be finding out in the next couple of months that's going to change a lot of things.
Yeah. How close were you, far as talking to him, man, through his ups and his downs? Because like I said, you have been a good role model, man. You've been on your game. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you've been sober for a long time. You've been keeping a good track record. So you are somebody to listen to. So how did that go?
Well, he had his own life, and he couldn't figure out, why he was doing what he was doing. But, that's life, man. Unfortunately, he may not know, and I'm hoping that he finds his way.
Yeah, you're definitely right, man. I think he's in good hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes you just can't find it on earth, man, and you're in the right place with God. I do believe that, man. Definitely.
Yep.
So let's talk about the spokesperson, man. ICDC College. Let's talk about that, man. Your motivation.
Yeah, ICDC College. I am one of their spokesmen right now for them. What it is it's a place that trains professional counselors to become alcohol and drug counselors.
Okay.
They also have many other things they have there that they train for you to become.
Right.
They help the military people to work in different service departments. They have a lot of different schools, and it's giving you something else to do. It's giving you a job, giving you an opportunity to get a job.
Right.
And they're real special, and they're very hands-on what they do. So that's why I wanted to become a part of them. I mean, to me, ICDC College is a place where everyone should at least look at the website, get an idea of what it's about, and figure out that, hey, man, this may be something that I need to do with my life, and it can really help change your life.
Right. So what do you say to the person out there, man? College ain't for everybody. You know that. College. So what do you say to that person if college ain't for them? What's some words of encouragement for those people?
If college ain't for you, college is for you.
Right.
That's the thing. If it's not for you, it is, because that's something you should be doing.
Right.
We always want to walk away and say something ain't for us when it really is.
Right. There it is. Because like I said, I was talking to my man Monty Sanders a minute ago about the workout stuff. People give you excuses for everything, like I said. So I'm glad you said that, man. But this college has really changed your life, man. But what do you feel about the people there? What do you want to say to the people at this college? How proud you are of them? What words of encouragement you want for them?
The thing is, just being a part of them and seeing how they work themselves and how they've been treating me has been fantastic. And I'm sure I'm going to have many more years with them, helping them out and them helping me out, and that's getting a lot more people in there to really be able to get jobs, and it helps out so many people and so many minorities.
Yeah, that's cool.
So many minorities.
That's cool.
And that's the thing, it helps out tons of minorities.
That's cool, and that's what we need, man. Like I said, we all a big village, man. We need to help each other. But do you have any speaking engagements coming in? Are you coming to Las Vegas? What you got coming up? Let us know.
I got one. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio next weekend.
Okay.
And that's about it for right now.
I hear you. Do you got anything on the websites, with your motivational speaking about your situation or, something to encourage people?
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you You can go. We have a website. I'm on Twitter.
Right.
I got Facebook, Twitter. We have got a bunch of different things, you know.
Right. I hear you, man.
And we teach people just, you know, I don't know, man. It's like life is just so. To me, life is built around doing as much as you can to help as many people as you can.
Yeah, you know that's
right. And to me, your life isn't over until you cannot help anybody else.
Yeah, you definitely right on that.
The way I look at it is, my life is going to continue to help people, because the more people I help, the better I feel about myself, and the better it makes them feel.
Right. But let me ask you this. When you hit that certain low, what certain low did you hit before you said, you know what, nah, not me, not again. I'm through being the laughing stock. I'm through being the poster boy. Watch this. If you don't believe it, I can show you better than I can tell you. What happened?
It just happened one day, man. One day I woke up, and I realized that I ain't going to be the laughing stock no more. I realized that Todd Bridges is going to make a change, and I made a change.
Yeah, that's cool. So let me ask you something.
But I couldn't make you got to understand this. I couldn't make it by myself.
Right.
I had to use God and God-intimate people to make that change.
And that's what it is. And I heard you've been getting a lot of support from a lot of people, man. I've been hearing a lot of positive stuff about you. And, you know, one thing, has Hollywood, have they forgiven you? You know what I mean by forgiving you?
Yeah, they have. That's why, you know, I'm in the Adam Sandler movie now.
Okay, that's cool.
Now, people are starting to take me back in. You know, Adam has led the way. And I'm sure, and I'm hoping I'm going to be in many more Adam films, because, you know, he likes to use the same people.
Oh, yeah. He's a good dude.
I think that once the people see that Adam is doing it, I think that my people will turn around and start doing the same thing. Because, you know, if we look at the reality of it is, I started it all out.
You did, man. I mean, I feel like you're a brother right now to me. I watched you, man, all my life. I grew up with you. But you know what? You know what I liked about Diff'rent Strokes, man? You made young black men and young black people that was having it rough, you made them dream. You made them know and wish, man, we can have it like this. How obtainable that is. You get what I'm saying?
Yep. But see, I go back further than that. I go back to a show called Fish.
Oh, yeah, Fish. I remember that.
I was also in Roots.
Yeah.
I was also the first kid in Little House on the Prairie, first kid in the Waltons.
Man,
I was in all kinds of movie of the weeks.
Right.
You know, at one point in the 70s, there was only two very well-known black kids, and that was Michael Jackson and Todd Bridges.
Oh man, there it is. So let me ask you something. Todd. With you saying all that and what all you have done, as far as you being a role model, how important is it to know that you are a role model? Some people say, oh, well, hey, I ain't no role model. But you are a role model, right or wrong?
Yeah, you are a role model. And the thing is, you got to behave appropriately. And that's the unfortunate part. If you're going to be in this business, you're going to be a role model. And people are going to look at you. People are going to say things about you, and you're going to have to try to act right appropriately.
Oh, yeah. But let me ask you something. When you went through some things, I mean, you done read some articles, you done probably heard people shooting jokes on TV shows. What kept you sane and kept you strong and didn't knock you off your pedestal? This is what I want other people to hear who can easily be knocked off their pedestal when they're trying to change.
Well, you have to realize that what they say about you, if you feel that way, you're in trouble.
Got that right.
Because they're going to always try. They're going to always, got to remember this. They're going to always try to knock the big boy off the block.
Well, you definitely.
And the minute they stop talking about you, that's the minute you got to worry.
You're definitely right about that. Hey, man, but look, I know you're busy. I know you're doing your thing, man, and I thank you for coming on the show today. And tell Dominique, man, I do appreciate it, and I want to respect y'all time. I know you're a busy, man, but, hey, I want everybody to be encouraged to be back on this man's radar. Todd Bridges is doing his thing. He's a role model, and like I said, it's all about forgiving and forgetting. Yesterday was yesterday. Hey, Todd, you done reintroduced yourself to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, and join my Twitter. Get on my Twitter. Tell everybody to get on my Twitter.
Everybody get on his Twitter. That's right. And he's going to send you some motivational stuff every day. So, hey, I thank you for being on the show, my brother.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, man. And I'm an outlet. If you ever need me, let me know.
Okay, you got it.
All right. All right. You take it easy.
Okay, bye.
All right, take it easy. So, everybody, that was my man Todd Bridges right there. And like I said, hey, he's a game changer. This man came back, changed his life, and he been putting it down. And like I said, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break for a minute. We're going to jump right back in real fast. I got another guy, another achiever that's on the phone right now that's really doing it big. I was doing it big, you know what I'm saying? But now he's doing it small and sexy. But we're going to talk about that when we come right back, all right? So y'all hold on. Like I said, that was my man Todd Bridges. Hey, the dude is doing doing his thing. Everybody, put that man back on your radar. Forgive and forget, because we have, and we encourage everybody to support him. I do. All right, so we'll be right back. Conversations with Cogee, baby. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, it's Conversations with Cogee. We back in, and like I said, it was my man just a minute ago, Todd Bridges, that was on. And like I said, I encourage everybody to get on the man's Twitter and keep supporting him. God bless you, Todd. Keep doing your thing. Hey, you know what? We got the stud on the phone. Let me get this stud in here, Mr. David Smith. What's up, Mr. David Smith?
Hey, Cogee, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing fine, man. Hey, you motivation, man. You motivation,
Thanks.
your story, and everything you're doing, man. Let me ask you a question. When you was on that couch, or you was sitting back, or you was eating, or whatever you was doing, when did you say, hey, enough is enough? I'm getting my sexy back.
It's one of those things where, it just clicks. I can't explain it until you witness it, but I was just like feeling sorry for myself, like crying in my bed. Why can't I have this? Why can't I do this? And it just occurred to me, like, hey, wake up, let's get this going. And I did.
Right. So let me ask you a question. When you first take me back to when you first told somebody you confided in and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to make this happen. Take me to that conversation.
It would probably be with my father. I really never left the house, and I really didn't have any close friends, or actually friends at all. And all my family members were basically, my family. And I talked to my dad, and I told him, like, hey, Dad, you know what? I've come to the lowest point that I can get to, and I really need to change my life. And I was figuring out how to overcome my social anxiety, and I felt the best way to do that was through TV. I was watching the local news, and I knew that I had to contact them to get over my social phobia. And I let my dad know. I go, hey, Dad, I'm gonna contact this television station to put my weight loss on TV, because I'm really serious this time. And at first he was hesitant, and he really didn't think I would do it, but I did, and the rest is history.
And you know what? What mind frame was you in once you first set out to do it, and you was trying? I mean, did you feel like giving up? Or did you give up and you jumped right back into it again, or did you just grind it out?
Yeah, of course. You're going to have failures, and when I was first starting with everything, I didn't know how to diet. I didn't know how to exercise, and I met my friend Chris through the television station, and he put me under his wing a little bit, and he was, trying to show me how to do all that stuff. And of course, we had some like breakdowns where I wasn't losing, and I had some failures, and you just have to get back on that horse and right back on that saddle and just do it. You can't give up. You can never give up. You have to have that mindset.
Right. And what about those good foods that's out there? All that good stuff that you was eating, that you thought you was eating. How did you shake that? I want our listeners to hear that who might be battling that situation right now. I need to give my village some inspiration. So you tell them how you done it.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's I'm still not over it. Food addiction is a very tough thing, like any other addiction, to get over it. You're going to have those urges, and, it's very hard, to stay away from them. And, there's plenty of, like, sugar. I mean, everywhere you go, everybody's eating stuff that, that you want to eat. And unfortunately, sometimes you can't do it because, if you do have, like, the cake at your family's birthday party, you're going to end up, having one piece, but then when everybody leaves the room, you're going to eat half that cake.
Yeah, you're definitely right. But you know what? How did your life change after you lost all the weight? And like I said, you could eat one piece of cake. You knew how to control yourself. Tell the listeners how your life changed. This is what I want them to hear. You're a second-time achiever. You know what I'm saying? You coming into it, you done your thing, but let's motivate them. Tell them how you feel right now and how your life changed.
Okay. Well, one thing that's really, helped me is, just trying to not let it control you after a while. I know I had really bad urges, and it got to the point where, if I did have it, I would make myself throw up and do all that stuff. And it, like I said, it's a lifetime thing where it's going to always be there. But you have to make the right choices and not be overwhelmed by that temptation, and just have a little piece of cake or some ice cream and just have that taste. And then, you're going to have the urge where you want more and more, but you just have to write it out. Just like, okay, 30 minutes later, you're not going to want it as much.
Right. There it is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I thought you was finished.
Oh, I was.
Okay. Hold on. I got a person on my panel. He want to say something to you real quick. We on short time, so let's make the questions and the answers real quick. But we still going to go over. Right. I want you to hold on, and we're going to go over into the next hour till my next guest come in. Go ahead, Smooth.
Yeah, this is Smooth. I want to ask you, I know before you were used to eating big meals. So now what do you do to keep in control? You just eat small meals through the day? How many meals do you eat?
Yeah, I definitely eat 5 to 6 small meals a day, and that helps combat the hunger throughout the day.
Yeah, so you try to stay healthy, or you have a big breakfast in the morning, or what?
Oh yeah, breakfast is the most important meal that you can eat. I mean, it just gives you energy and you just feel full. And it's important to have like some type of fat with your breakfast so that it stays in your system a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. Got to have some kind of fat.
There it is. Real quick, Miss Peaches, chime in.
Oh, I want to congratulate him on being able to lose the weight. And like he said, if you can get through the 30 minutes when you really want something, just wait it out, and you don't usually want it as much. But don't you agree, David, if you can't deprive yourself completely, you have to, like you said, have a little taste and then keep it moving?
Most importantly, I mean, you can't let it control you. And, if you didn't have it, that means, you're not in control anymore. And you're just bound to, have some pie when nobody is around, and you'll end up eating the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. So,
right. Mm-hmm.
So David, how tired was you of being in that position? Real quick.
It's just one of those life and death things. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't living, and it just felt like I was already dead, and I wasn't ready to be dead when I was in my 20s. So, got a lot of living to do.
Oh yeah, that's right. But real quick, name some health problems that you went through, just real fast.
I would say sleep apnea. I had heart pains. I had really bad joints. What else? There's a lot of things. It's just really unhealthy, and I wasn't feeling good at all, and I felt like I was on death's door.
Did you get diabetes?
It ran in my family, but fortunately, I never experienced it.
Wow, that's good, man. But did you think that it was possible to lose all that weight? Did you really think it was possible? I know you wanted to lose it, but did you, in the back of your mind, like, I know I can't shake all this off? How did you fight that demon, real quick?
Of course. I mean, when you're looking at, you have to lose over 400 pounds, and people are complaining that they can't lose 4 or 40. And you look straight ahead and you're like, oh my God, I can't do that. But then you just have to make small goals. You have to lose, make a 5-pound goal or a 25-pound goal, and just go from there. And just don't worry about it. I mean, as long as you're doing it, you're going to do it.
Right. And how good did it make you feel, man, when you start losing that weight and people seeing you for the first time in a long time again? How good did you feel?
I mean, it felt great. I mean, I was going from a really dark place where, I felt like an animal. I didn't even feel human. And to have people, start opening doors for me and, actually talking to me, and not actually have somebody like stare at me and laugh at me out loud. And,
right.
I just felt like alive again.
I hear you. Well, check this out. You are alive again, baby. You're on Conversations with Cogee, and the light is shined on you, David. I'm proud of you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, well, check us out. I want you to hold on now. Well, you're going to go into the next hour with me, my third hour, before, when my guests call in, then, we'll change out. But you hold on. Everybody, it's Conversations with Cogee. It's been the second hour with my man, David Smith and Todd Bridges, who brung it great. Check us out. Y'all hold on. Get ready for my man, Kim, that'll be coming in. And, we'll be right back. The show's getting hotter and hotter, baby. Conversations with Cogee.